Welcome back to Simply Trade Tips with Hammer and Heels, Renee and Julie. As always, we're going to give you a call to action and an FIO. You probably know that by now, right? Figure it out if you've been listening to us. So in less than 5 minutes, that's our goal. So, Jules, we're on episode 3 of our career series, Managing Up. What should we talk about today?
Well, I love your thought of managing up. I think that we need to give some folks some tips around how to kind of deal with the upper level management that you're reporting through. And I think the first point is mind your communications, right? So we know that the top level management wants things a little bit more streamlined, but it also is kind of treat the human the way that they want to be treated. So sometimes there might be a need for more. And we also think the form is important here, right? So if your manager likes things in PowerPoint, make sure you're communicating in PowerPoint, et cetera. Or if the Word document is better for them, or bullets versus paragraphs. I know I had my own challenges with that. Shifting different industries, different leaders require different communication. Renee, what are tips, for folks out there trying to communicate with management? What are things they can do to make it better?
Well, I was at a job. I had to go meet with the CEO, and he wanted to talk about trade. And he said to me, I want you to tell me this in like 3 words. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, as you guys know, I can talk an ear off of anybody. And I thought, and he would ask me very complex questions, and he literally wanted me to talk to him back in 3 words. So, I mean, that's a little crazy, but that happens. So the moral of the story is learn their comms preference. Do they want, verbal in 3 words or less? Do they, like Julie said, do they want PowerPoint? So I think your point on there on learning their communication style is key.
Yes. And I found too that if you write out your big paragraph, Renee, sometimes you summarizing your big paragraph is the way to go. And maybe even getting a peer to read that document before you send it off is a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I find that the higher I would go up in an organization, the more simplification that I tended to have to do because they have less time, right? That's just my humble opinion. But, again, you've got to learn the organization.
All right. So it's not all about communications, Renee. I think we need to talk to some folks about visibility. How do you get yourself some more visibility? What do you do? And I think in our previous episode, we did cover some of the aspects of mentorship. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out to get that mentor. But what are some ideas on how folks can get some more visibility? I mean, I know with tariffs, it's a little bit easier today, but what are some thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, how do you get yourself in the boardroom? Well, one of our big tips is to have this committee. Right? Create a task force or a customs committee or council, whatever you want to call it in your organization. And maybe you're volunteering for working groups or writing these tariff chaos communications. And maybe you're volunteering for delivering these presentations. Get yourself in front of people, take risk, get out there.
And we love here, y'all. You need to be curious, right? So if you don't know a lot about the finance function or a lot about what's on their plate, ask some questions. That helps get you more visible and get you more understanding as well. So we're going to communicate. We're going to be a little bit more visible. And I think we need to get our proposals locked in. So what are the cool things that you wanted to do? How are you communicating those things, the problems in your area and the solutions that you'd like to pursue? Renee, how have you done strategic proposals in the past, and how do you think about them?
Well, I think to your point, I think you taught this to me, the triangle method, right? Scope, money, and time. And so strategically, you have to, again, we'll go back to balancing the scale from our previous episode. How do you balance the scale with your scope and money and time? Can you strategically introduce these proposals, say for automation? That was really big for us. And how do you make sure that proposal gets accepted, right?
We think we need you guys to FIO in the area of asking for what you need. Roll your chair back. Think about the things that you wanted to get done forevermore, right? And we covered this in one of the tariff episodes, to not waste a good crisis. But we want you to think about the one thing that you'd like to change and try to employ some of these techniques. How do you communicate the issue? How do you gain more visibility on the topic and garner some support from your stakeholders and move into those actual proposal?
Oh, that awesome tips. Thank you. And again, get to our community. Let us know how you're doing. And thanks for listening to our Simply Trade tips. Thanks, Julie. Great advice. See you next time.